Hey y'all, welcome back to another budgeting video. Today we are going to be closing out March's budget, and in our next video I should be laying down my stickers and opening up April's budget. So I have no idea where March went. I can't believe it's already April. Today is actually April 5th. I'm a little behind getting this out. I hope y'all had a great March. Honestly, my March was a dumpster fire, just to be honest, but we're gonna, close this out and just restart in April with all things, not just my budget, but just life in general. So let's just get started. Let me flip this to the side a little. And once again, I will say I am in no shape or form some type of budgeting professional. I am learning right along with y'all. So if I do something wrong, feel free to leave a comment below of how you do it. But this is just what I do and what works for me. So we're going to start right here with income. Well, I guess I can't fold it because I got to flip back and forth. So I budgeted, or I thought my husband would get $3,100. If I add all of this up here, go straight across here, it is 620, 68, 620, 67, 620, 67, 620, 68, 723, 83, 3206, 53. I still got to turn it to the side. I just can't write without doing that. I'm sorry. Okay. $3206.53. So we actually brought in $106.53 more, which was good. Nothing here. So that is our total. Okay, our fixed expenses here, that was correct. That's exactly how much they are. Next month I do have to adjust this. It's now 90 until I can get signed back up for it. There's a program that can give you a little assistance on your cell phone, but mine ran out. So next month it will be 90, but this month that was correct. So here through the month I have kind of wrote these in as they came in. We budgeted $150 for natural gas. It was actually $68.75, so that was good. $205 for power. We budgeted $32 for water. It was $27.43 for eating out. And where I'm going to get, I actually already added these up just to save a little time, but where I'm getting these from is just checking with my weekly check-in, adding up what I spent and seeing if I had any left over, which most of the time I spend that amount and sometimes more. But we were right on $152 for eating out. For gas, I did have $40 left, and I'm just putting that in an envelope for if we come up short in the following months. I'm just going to have some money, set aside. Groceries, we spent that, and I guess then some. I did have right here an extra transaction. I just listed it as unbudgeted, and it came out of my buffer, but we spent everything in my cash envelope that was allocated for groceries. So $10 for spending. We did not do miscellaneous. So for my buffer, I like to keep 50 in it. Every paycheck I actually added some in it. We were constantly using what I was adding in it, so it's not like I was building up my buffer. I'd build it up and then I'd use it. But when I go through and I add these, I get $245.53, and I just added that up before time just to kind of save a little time on this video. This spring, I like the big coil, but it gets in my way, especially when I have it laid out flat. But I think I can read that. Alright, sinking funds, same thing. I was able, since there were 5 pay periods, we had that little extra money to add money here. I spent a lot of it on Easter things, but I do have a little setback aside in that extra envelope for future months also. But when I add all those up, I get $272. Savings, no savings, which I guess you could claim the money I had set aside as savings, but anyways, I just put it all in a little sinking fund envelope. No big deal. That's why I say this works for me. If you like to get down to the nitty gritty and everything be just right, you may do something different. But just this kind of overall idea of where my money's going and just kind of a basic budget, it's good enough for me. I don't need to get into being so precise, and even some people do percentages of where their money went. That's great. I love all that, but it's just not practical for me. Okay, debt. Don't really keep track of that. We did accrue some debt this month where I was sick and we used my credit card, but I'll just transfer some savings and pay that off. Okay, unbudgeted. We did, like I've said in previous videos, we had unbudgeted. I added these up. It came to $117.66, which I guess really that should be in red, shouldn't it? That's not an erasable pen, but anyways. I still, like I always say, I'm not really worried about this because it didn't come out of a credit card. It didn't come out of a different envelope. It just came from this buffer. So even though I didn't budget out and have an envelope for whatever this was, it was covered with our money. And we weren't taking money from anywhere else. So I don't really have a problem with it. Okay, let's add this up. 68.75, 205, 27.43, 152, 540, 695, 10, 245, 53, 272, 117.66. Let me write this down. $2,333 and 30. I can't do it. That coal's in the way. 37. Can't really see that. Okay. So this is what we thought our expenses would be, and that's normally what they are. But since we had that extra paycheck, because it's 5 weeks this past month, we did have this extra to work with. So even though it looks like we're way over budget, actually a lot of that was just savings and my buffer. All this, my bills were pretty much the same. And then if we add these two together, 15, 34, 31, let's just make a total right here. Total spent this month, and that means whether it was spent on savings, bills, whatever, the amount of money that I allocated somewhere was $3,151.71. If I take what we made, minus what we spent, that's what's left. $54.82. So for the most part, we have allocated our entire check. That may be just left over in our buffer or something. It's floating around somewhere. But we did not go over budget. If this amount was bigger than this amount, I would be concerned, what did we do this month? But it's not. So I'm fine with that. Let's see if there's anything else we need to do to close out this month. Okay, right here, we're just going to total these up and make sure we have enough for next month. So this, just as a reminder, this is where my money went this month. This money was saved, except for the buffer and stuff like that. As far as the bill money here, from this up and this was saved in February. I used it in March because I'm a month ahead. So I saved this money every pay period in March for April. So let's total it up and see, did I get enough money to fill my envelopes for April, which I know I did because there was this extra extra here. And I redid these for when I have 5 paychecks, I can have a total, but I had to put my 5th paycheck in the total, and then I had to add a little column right here to add up. My new kits, they have a place for all this, but it doesn't really matter. 129 times 5, 645, and I'll do this in green just to show that we have enough. $12 times 5, 60. Okay. I keep making mistakes, don't I? We have 60, but I didn't realize it. Like I said earlier, I needed 90. So 30 is going to have to come from probably the buffer, or if I have to, my savings. It doesn't really matter. Okay. 1140 times 5, 57. Exactly what we needed. Same thing for subscriptions, 57, which I said in one of my past videos, I did have an unexpected subscription come out. I needed to cancel Canva, and I didn't. So I was charged $12.69 for March. So I don't know if I'll have to adjust this for April or not. I'll have to see if I'm going to keep it for the next month or not. Which I guess I need to add that in there, don't I? So I remember. I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm just all over the place. Canva, $12.69. If I add 818, 34, 12.69, 831.03, and I'm not going to get out the white out and fix all this. It just really doesn't bother me. So 31.51.71 plus 12.69. Our actual total is $3,164.40. So if I subtract that from, we actually have 42 left somewhere. Okay, back to this. Just make sure, try to keep everything in y'all's screen here. 41 times 5, 205, 15, 75, 6 times 5 is 30, 40 times 5, 200, 116 times 5, 580, 140 times 5, 700, 8 times 5, 40, same thing here. And I like to keep that in my buffer, but I said right here in my buffer was 245.53 is what I put in there. It's not what's in there. I wish. But like I said, we actively, our buffer is up and down constantly. You know, we put money in, take money out. But that's okay. And then I guess we could do the sinking funds also. Is that an erasable pen? No, it is not. So our sinking funds was $272. So if I add that up, 645, 60, 57, 57, 205, 75, 30, 200, 580, 700, 40 and 40 is 80, 245, 53, 272, 3206.53. That's what we had exactly. So everything is accounted for there. We put all our money somewhere for April. So we are actually in super good shape for April. That's something I want to emphasize here for y'all. If you can, if you like the idea of getting a month ahead, it is so nice to know that for April, the entire month, I don't have to worry. My bills are covered, my, gas and groceries and spending, everything is covered for 1 month. I don't have to worry. I can have a bad month as far as, sickness or, things happen in your life, but as far as your budget, everything is taken care of when you're a month ahead. So, and I know that's not possible for everybody, but some ways to get a month ahead. Right now is tax time. Set a part of that and, get a month ahead. Set you up an envelope and figure out, okay, to be a month ahead, I need this amount of money. And every month, I'm just going to put a little bit into that envelope until I get there. Selling things on Facebook Marketplace. Whatever. This, to me, it may not work for you. This is such a good idea for me and my family. It is working out really good. And like I said, I am not perfect. My budget is not perfect. It's just a real life working budget. These are our numbers. This is our life. It's messy. I'm messy. So, but I would encourage you, if you're experimenting with different ways of budgeting, to give this 1 month ahead budget. Give it a try. See what you think. I didn't know if I would like it, and I'm still getting used to it. And it's nice. This is nice when you have an extra, check and everything works out. That's nice. Back here in February, I did not have enough for all my envelopes. It's still nice that all my, expenses and bills were covered, but it doesn't always work out. My point is, not everything always works out and everything's covered and it's all great. Sometimes it doesn't. But to know that my bills are paid and I don't have to worry is such, a weight lifted off my back. One less thing to worry about. So, once again, I thank y'all for sticking around, listening to me ramble, listening to me figure out my budget along the way, make mistakes along the way, but I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. My next video should be setting up April's budget. Then we will have the first paycheck breakdown and weekly check-in, probably a cash stuffing for the first week of April. So I hope y'all are having a great week, a great start to your April. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.